The tense moments before the big match as Arsenal prepare to face Orient in the semi-finals. And welcome to this FA Cup semi-final edition of the big match as we bring you the action that counted in the tie between Arsenal and Orient at Stamford Bridge yesterday. And after we've seen that action together, we shall go behind the scenes to get the views of the players. But today we have much more besides. As usual, we should be looking through your letters the day, believe it or not, that a happy player kissed a referee in Australia. And what about that remarkable goal last week by Liverpool's Ray Kennedy? But did he really mean to score it? Well, he answers that today for us. And the best 12 goals seen on the big match this season as a prelude to our Golden Goals competition starting next week. But first it's semi-final action. You've seen the teams leave their dressing rooms for the colourful scenes outside, banners everywhere, a lot relating to Orient's Peter Kitchen. Kitchen fries rice, that's Arsenal's Pat. Arsenal's answer? Kitchen's bear, because Willie's there. That's Willie Young, and it does seem that Willie Young has become quite a cult figure. Murder of the Orient Express, and indeed the pearly king and queen were there to enjoy it all. Here's the Arsenal team then. No problems this week for manager Terry Neal. With Alan Sunderland out through injury, Graham Rix continues in the number 8 shirt. Healthy competition for places here. 14 goals in 4 FA Cup ties this season so far from Arsenal. Orient's scoring rate has not been nearly so impressive, but they've beaten 3 First Division sides on their way here. Now manager Jimmy Bloomfield is forced to make changes. David Payne is out with hamstring, and his late change was to bring Derek Clark into the number 7 shirt in place of young Kevin Godfrey. But it's a fairy tale for Orient. They've got this far through the goals of Peter Kitchen. He scored in every round. They've got this far on the saves of keeper John Jackson, 34 years old, 17 years a professional. For Arsenal, it's been a cup run where the youngsters have blossomed. Graham Rix has been one of them. And without doubt, another has been Liam Brady, who's been a match winner for them in midfield. The referee is Pat Partridge from Durham. He's in because Ken Burns of Stourbridge has got flu. He only heard about his appointment late on Thursday night, and he was due to be a linesman today in the Northern League. But nobody in the 49,000 crowd more tense than the managers and the coaches. Don Howe of Arsenal on the left there with the manager Terry Neal. And for Orient, great to see Jimmy Bloomfield there again after his serious operation. Peter Angel alongside him. But before the action, an unexpected delay.
What an amazing thing here at Stamford Bridge. We've got a delay to the start of the Cup semi-final because this fella is going to... No, he decided against it. But who on earth brings a dog to a game like this? Poor old chap. But what it also means is that there's a delay, and goodness knows the nerves are twanging a little bit out there amongst the players. Well, he's been caught at last, and let's hope well looked after. But now it looks as though we might be down to business, and Arsenal get us away in that change strip of yellow with blue shorts attacking the goal to our left. Orient also changing to a strip of all red. Orient, vast underdogs, the poor boys who've made it rich, who are in danger of getting into the 3rd division. Such is their plight in the league, but in the cup it's been a different story. Here's McDonald though, and a good swift challenge by Hoadley. Mayo trying to get in before O'Leary, and a bit of order in that Orient defence as John Jackson plays it short here and gives Glenn Roeder the touch. So important that Orient make the right sort of start. The longer it goes on with them holding Arsenal at bay, the better their chances will be. Mayo right in there. Bennett. Coffey. And Rice. Now Brady. Well, there's Bennett again. Turning the ball back towards Kitchen. Roffey. It's a good cross towards Mayo. There's Mayo's header, but into the arms of Jennings. Mayo allowed a little bit of room there, and he got a header on target. Stapleton. Rice. Arsenal really will want to make their presence felt as early as they can to settle their nerves as well. McDonald turning it in, and Stapleton so close, and Ricks wildly wide. Well, Stapleton was within a whisker of getting the first goal there. What a good piece of running here by McDonald, whipping that ball over before Hoadley could do anything. Just too fast, though, for Stapleton, and Ricks wildly over. Roffey, Hudson. Brady trying to get it back, but a good challenge by Grealish. Well, off the referee again, and he was a little lucky, but just look at the way Hudson's after him. It was a foul in the end, but it certainly shows Hudson's intention of putting everything into this semi-final. Last time he was in a semi-final, of course, was 8 years ago for Chelsea, the Stamford Bridge club, but he didn't play in the final against Leeds. He was injured. Roda with the kick. Kitchen with the jump, but beaten there by O'Leary. Brady. The long ball this time. Roda there. Play on. It was a bad piece of judgment by Roda. The referee was right to play it on. Equally, it was a foul on Arsenal, and the free kick already taken by Liam Brady. Rice. It's a dangerous cross. Willie Young's right in there. What a good clearance by Bennett, but here's Price again. Oh, what a good save by Jackson. And Roffey can get that ball into touch. A super piece of goalkeeping by John Jackson. Great defence by Orient, but they're under pressure now. There was a good jump by Bennett. A nice little touch there for Price. And Willie Young. Oh, and he's hit the crossbar. And Orient escape. Well, John Jackson so nearly was beaten there as Willie Young got in for that one that hit the crossbar. Now with Nelson. There's the cross again. Again Willie Young is there. David Price lifting that in there. Jackson falling for it, stretching and getting it. Well, a quarter now gone. The Arsenal bench with nothing to cheer as yet. Ricks. And Roffey away. Hudson. Ricks. Nelson. Graham Ricks again. And Yorkshire lad nicely played inside for Hudson. A touch for Stapleton. Back towards McDonald. Oh, and it's an own goal off Roffey. What a tragedy for Orient. But it's a goal for Arsenal, and an own goal at that. Poor Bill Roffey, nothing he could do about it. Ricks, who played a big part in it. Hudson, who played a massive part in it. A lovely little 1-2. McDonald, it broke for him well. And look at that. Off Roffey, and there was nothing he could do. Arsenal 1, Orient 0. Own goal, 16 minutes gone. Statistical point. I think Arsenal have only played one semi-final at Stamford Bridge, and that was in 1927 against Southampton, and then they won 2-1 and were helped by an own goal. Well, here's McDonald. Now here's Brady. And Roffey back to Jackson. Wretched luck for Orient. Young being harassed by Peter Bennett. Free kick to Arsenal. Well, my feeling was that the ball from McDonald was going wide in any case. It wouldn't have troubled Jackson, but he had no chance once that had hit Roffey. MacDonald and Hoadley. And the ball coming their way, except it'll be Gray and Stapleton going for it. Stapleton's header, MacDonald's header. Stapleton playing it wide, and it'll be an Orient throw. Hudson, Brady, some nice delicate touches in the Arsenal midfield. We saw that in the lead up to that goal. But Mayo and now Ricks really played his part. Stapleton, nice little 1-2. Ricks coming through. A foul by Grealish on Ricks. A free kick to Arsenal. So Don Howe wants someone to come back a little bit. In fact, he wants David O'Leary back a bit. Now Ricks turning that ball in. Roda getting it away. Here's MacDonald with a cross. Oh, and it's another own goal. This time I think off Roda. Although MacDonald, I think, will claim it. Roda looking absolutely as miserable as you can imagine there. Poor Glenn Roda. Well, it really hasn't gone Orient's way, would you believe it? 2 own goals in the space of 3 minutes. Chipped in by Ricks. Nodded away again. Comes to MacDonald. Well, in fact, it went off both Hoadley and Roda. But if I know Malcolm MacDonald, he's going to say that's mine. Not only that, it's my 22nd of the season. Arsenal 2 up, and you could say both own goals. Now Ricks. Ricks curling it in. Oh! And that very nearly went off Stapleton and behind Jackson again. Is coming from now, and there's plenty of it. Kitchen. That's an Orient throw. Roffey, Mayo doing his best to escape Willie Young. Young's done a very good marking job on him so far. Got a good left foot, Roffey. And he's crossed that in well towards Clark, who got the header on target, but again with not quite the power, Derek Clark. Cross came in well from Roffey there. Likes it on his left foot. Never really a great problem for Jennings. Oh, Rice with a mistake. Now, can Kitchen make something of it? Look how far Jennings has come out. In the end, in his excitement, Peter Kitchen couldn't keep it in play. Roffey with the throw. So a corner for Orient. So a corner. Here's Roffey with it. And Jennings fisting that off the head of Joe Mayo. Mayo in trouble again, whether that was a right hook from Pat Jennings, as he also connected with the Orient number 9 as well as the ball, but it was a dangerous in-swinging corner. It comes in there. Mayo going for it, Jennings going for it, and maybe there was just a bit of contact with Joe Mayo's head. So Tunji Banjo, only 17 years old, doing a bit of warming up. And Joe Mayo's okay. Banjo goes back to the bench, and Bill Roffey gets ready to take the throw. And a long one it is. Willie Young up there again. Brady hacking it away. Bobby Fischer battling with Graham Rix. And here's Rix. Oh, what a good ball by Rix. And again, superb covering by Roda. But he's running into trouble. Brady. Price offside. Offside. What a bad bit of keeping though for all that. Good run by Price. Kitchen finding Grealish. Well, that really was a quickly taken free kick, so quick that Joe Mayo didn't realise it had been taken, and in fact it's a throw to Arsenal. That's Tony Grealish. Hoadley. Clark. Now go for that, he says to Joe Mayo. Mayo hitting it in quickly, and Jennings. Mayo does patrol down those touchlines, and he does hit useful balls in quickly. But here's O'Leary. Not all the way, surely, no. He's only 20 years old, David O'Leary. It's hard to believe that. He seems to have become a fixture in the Arsenal side for quite a few seasons. Starting, of course, as a 17-year-old. Gray, Clark, nice touch, Gray. Might come for Clark again. Got that in to Peter Kitchen. That's interesting. Mayo's at the other side of it, and Jennings was there to grab it. First time we've really seen Orient spring into dangerous action. Clark finding Kitchen, a nice overhead here. Mayo waiting at the other side there. And Jennings gathered it. Roffey. Stapleton. Now Brady. Just a little bit of acceleration there, taking him past Grealish. MacDonald here. Stapleton there. Jackson didn't get to it, but the ball was over. Nice Arsenal move there, really using the width of the ground. Brady with the cross, MacDonald at the far side, heading it down. And it was always a difficult one for the keeper, and in fact he didn't get there, but Stapleton did. If you're looking at his watch, we've had about a minute and a half of time added on. And there goes the half-time whistle. Arsenal 2 in the lead. Glenn Roeder, I suppose if you're cruel, you have to say one of the own goals was his, the other one was Bill Roffey's. And both of them were dreadful bits of luck for Orient, although at the same time you have to say, in spite of the bad luck with those own goals, and in spite of the fighting spirit that Orient clearly have got, that the half-time score is the right one, that Arsenal have dominated that first half with some positive football, attacking, getting their defenders up there as well. And it's going to take an awful lot of pulling round now for Orient. A half-time score then in this FA Cup semi-final at Stamford Bridge. Arsenal 2, Orient 0. We'll be back with the second half. well, Pat Partridge. Waiting to get the second half started now as we welcome you back to Stamford Bridge for this FA Cup semi-final, with Arsenal leading Orient by 2-0. Orient in the all-red strip about to kick off. And it's Peter Kitchen doing it for them. Back to Rhoda. Rice. Stapleton. Orient never been in a semi-final before. Brady's little touch almost putting Stapleton through. But Orient on their way here, having beaten Norwich, Blackburn, Chelsea and Middlesbrough. Arsenal in turn having accounted for Sheffield United, Wolves, Walsall and Wrexham. And here's Rhoda again on the ball, being hustled out of it though. MacDonald playing it now for Stapleton, number 3, no! Saved by John Jackson, and the ball now with Ricks. Played this time for Brady. In again, Rhoda away this time. Arsenal half thought there was a penalty, the referee would have none of that. And it certainly looked, as MacDonald laid that pass on for Stapleton, that it must be goal number 3 for Arsenal, except that Jackson was off his line superbly to make that save. Mayo. Bennett. Oh, Fisher got in well there. Ricks was really going for him. Mayo. Kitchen. A free kick for Orient. And Mayo not at all happy with the way that Sammy Nelson went for him. And there's a bit of pushing and shoving going on there between Mayo and Alan Hudson. Maybe it was Hudson who was going in there. This is the incident that accounted for it all. In fact, it was Sammy Nelson going high on Mayo. But a genuine attempt, I think, for both men to go for the ball. The referee is having a word with both Nelson and Mayo. And Orient get a free kick. 7, 11, 8 and 4 in the Arsenal wall. And Roffey... Well, the policeman. It's always good for a laugh, of course. Roffey, Grealish, Bennett. That'll come for Fisher. Kitchen after this one, being well shadowed by the Arsenal defence. MacDonald. Price. It's an Arsenal throw. Puts MacDonald in the clear, except that Phil Hoadley was across brilliantly to stop him. But now MacDonald, and again Hoadley was there. While you see MacDonald, the hero though is Phil Hoadley. 2 tremendous pieces of defence there by Hoadley. First one coming up now as we wait for the corner. Got in there quickly, and as it goes on again, there he is again. And there they are again. So a corner which Hudson will take for Arsenal. Played short for Brady. Turning Grealish, one Irishman on another. Well, he came to another Irishman, Frank Stapleton. Instead it comes to Bill Roffey, born in Stepney. Kitchen. Had little leeway this afternoon, Kitchen, and Jennings got there a fraction before Gray. One of the unsung Arsenal heroes, this fella, 22-year-old David Price. But he's had a really marvellous season for Arsenal. And here he is coming in again there, getting that header in. And getting another header in, just over the top that time. Good combination coming forward there for Arsenal with MacDonald involved. Price himself, of course, there, Stapleton. And over the top it goes. Gray waited, and Willie Young made the more positive mark there. Hoadley, who is playing brilliantly against MacDonald now. Willie Young getting in there, Kitchen getting in there, going all the way, and David O'Leary getting back in the nick of time when it looked for the first time as though this ace goal scorer was going to get there and frighten Arsenal. So David O'Leary getting in the nick of the time when it looked as though Kitchen was clear. And a free kick for Arsenal. Grealish having a slightly better spill at the moment, Orient. Grealish again. Bennett. Well, what about this though? 3 against 2. Stapleton, MacDonald's lurking as well. Still Stapleton, he's allowed to go a long way. Well, Jackson was superb. And Stapleton applauds him. But it's amazing how far the Irish number 10 was allowed to go for Arsenal. Until in the end he let fly and Jackson got it up and away. Ricks, long one, Jackson touching that away before Willie Young could get in at the back there. So Hudson will take this corner. Perhaps flip it in towards the near post where Stapleton is. That's exactly what happened. And Willie Young back over his head. Not too good at the moment for Orient. Ricks. Beaten Roffey there. What lovely skills by Ricks, and not a bad piece of keeping by John Jackson either. Tremendous prospect from Yorkshire, Graham Ricks. Lovely bit of skill there. And in the end, it was no great problem for John Jackson, to be honest. Roffey. Nicely judged little lob there, but Mayo has headed it to Brady and gone on. And Arsenal getting snapping up so much that's loose. And here's Sammy Nelson, a long way through to Malcolm MacDonald, he's onside, and straight at Jackson again. A great bursting run by Sammy Nelson, went a long, long way. MacDonald going in there, aiming to put it wide of Jackson, but hitting it straight at the Orient keeper. Ricks, wriggling all the way through, he's gone all the way, and that's number 3 for Graham Ricks. On the Arsenal bench as well as in the Arsenal goal, they're on their feet applauding him. The smiles are everywhere. Arsenal know they're now at Wembley for sure. What a run by Ricks and what a goal. Brilliant stuff. A long, long wriggling run that finally took him clear of Bobby Fischer. A question mark against John Jackson, but there's the ball in the net. Arsenal 3, Orient 0, Graham Ricks. Says the whole Arsenal picture. There are the men rather, Don Howe and Terry Neal, who've achieved it all off the field, and there are the fans who are applauding it from the field. And Tanji Banjo, who came on, and in fact made his first appearance for Orient last week at Bolton when he came on as a substitute, 17 years old. Nigel Gray, who started more in a defensive position, was pushed forward in this second half. He's coming off. O'Leary having no nonsense. Hudson. All these Arsenal players looking for the ball and wanting it now. A little back heel for Brady. Oh, what a beautiful bit of skill by Brady. The pass, but look at O'Leary right up here now. The cross coming into the far side. Stapleton, not the header that was required. But the ball that went through to O'Leary was such a good one. The Arsenal defender was right in there. But it wasn't a particularly good header by Frank Stapleton. Played into a bit of space here for Roffey. Oh, he showed too much of that to Rice. Here's MacDonald. Here's 3 against 3. Rice again storming forward as a defender, finding Stapleton. Back for Rice again. All about a shot. MacDonald on the far side. Goal kick to Orient. Well, Harry Zussman, the Orient director on the left there, who favours enormous cigars. Just back from a holiday in the West Indies, and Brian Winston, his chairman, is still out there. Stapleton limping badly now. That's not going to matter, I think, now. Willie Young, Stapleton. MacDonald having a right old battle there with Glenn Roeder. Free kick to Arsenal. Or is it a drop ball, I would think? Yes, drop ball. Fans have enjoyed seeing, and here he comes again. No, he's been stopped by the whistle. Well, there's no doubt about it, he really has become almost a cult figure at Highbury over the last few months, Willie Young. Banners about him, mind you, he's done something to provoke that. He scored 1 or 2 very good goals, and got about a minute to go. 1 minute. Don Howe agrees. Free kick to Orient. Roffey with the free kick. Last seconds of this semi-final. Arsenal almost there. 3-0 up. Grealish with his shot, well wide of the Arsenal goal. In fact, Pat Jennings still has not had a serious shot to save. It must be the easiest afternoon, I would have thought, that a goalkeeper maybe has ever had in a cup semi-final. Final whistle. Arsenal are at Wembley. Winners by 3-0. Graham Wick's brilliant goal in the second half is the one that decided it. Pat Rice, the skipper, who takes his side to the stadium. Orient, who'd battled so well, but on the day simply weren't good enough. And really, that's the end of the story. For there's plenty of joy there amongst the Arsenal men, as indeed there should be. They came here as clear favourites, but favourites in the Cup have been beaten before. Not today, though. Helped by those 2 own goals in the first 20 minutes, and they're all running now to the Arsenal end of the field to give their salute to the fans who really have supported them so well. David Price. A triumphant Arsenal side came to do a job and did it expertly and comfortably. An own goal by Roffey, an own goal by Roda, a second half goal by Ricks gives Arsenal that 3-0 victory. So a full-time score then, Arsenal 3, Orient 0.
So, congratulations to Arsenal. Bad luck for Orient. Orient, who'd done such a marvellous job getting this far. But on the day, they simply weren't good enough, and that's where it all started and ended. But who should be credited with those 2 strange goals that put Arsenal on their way to Wembley? The newspapers today give both to Malcolm McDonald. I question that, particularly the first one. A little bit of play here by Alan Hudson, a nice little 1-2 play with Frank Stapleton, and it breaks nicely for Supermac here. But if you look now, that shot wasn't even going for a goal kick, it was probably going for a throw when it hit Bill Roffey and went into the back of the net. In my book, that's an own goal, Bill Roffey. The second one, that's got to go down to Malcolm McDonald, though. Graham Ricks, who had a brilliant game, a lovely left foot there. Roda heads this one away. Look at that for skill. And what about this for skill coming up? It hits Hoadley and it hits Roda in the face, but the skill alone, quite legitimately, that is a goal for Malcolm McDonald. But as we go to the Arsenal dressing room to meet the men who've now got through to Wembley, we meet first of all Malcolm McDonald and the scorer of that 3rd goal, Graham Ricks. But what does Supermac have to say about those first 2 goals?
As far as I'm concerned, I got the first blow in at the goal, and if it hits somebody on the way, I've still had to make the move in the first place. So I'm fed up with people trying to take goals away, so I'm not saying anything.
No doubt about who got the 3rd one, though, Malcolm.
Oh, it's a great goal. Great goal. I suppose people are then going to fault John Jackson slightly, but it was a tremendous run by the fella. Great shot, and I thought on his overall performance and the performances that he's been putting in for so long now throughout the season, he deserves a goal like that. It's you know, it's such an important time for us.
He's working well for you, Graham. But your first semi-final, did you feel a bit nervy before it?
Well, yeah, of course I did. You know, I enjoyed it, but I was nervous. You know.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about your goal then.
He passed me the ball, you know, and I just ran towards goal and just kept diving in, you know. I thought the keeper should have had it, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it went under his body.
Yes. In fact, it was a very good all-round performance by Arsenal. You never really gave them, let them get into it at all.
Well, if you look at the fact that Pat Jennings didn't have one diving save to make, he had a couple of headers to pick up, and I think he was very busy taking goal kicks.
And here in the Arsenal dressing room, John Jackson's come across to say congratulations to the Arsenal side, and in fact they well deserve their win, John.
Pardon? Well, you know, we weren't so happy with the first 2 goals, obviously. So, and that caused us a few problems. We had to change our way of playing and everything else. And we only played 2 at the back, and I thought our boys played well because they worked hard and tried hard. And as someone on the other side says, you can't give Arsenal 2 goals at that level and still play well.
I gather Malcolm McDonald is claiming both the goals.
He's what? He's joking. No.
What was your view of them?
Well, the first one would have gone for a throw-in, I think. I think if you look at it tomorrow, it was well wide, and it hit Bill Roffey near enough, neck and chin high, and went in the back of the net. I thought it was going to be the Chelsea game all over again. And then I'm afraid the second one was a similar sort of thing. I covered the shot and started to go for the drive he had, and it hit Glenn in the face and went in at the near post. So it more or less killed us off, obviously.
Standing alongside you, the Arsenal skipper who will now be leading his side out at Wembley. What would you like to say to Pat Rice? What would you really like to say?
No, it's not printable, but no, obviously I just wish them all the very best because they're the London side, and it's a change to have someone out from other than the northern sides in the cup final, isn't it?
Yeah. The underdogs were never really in it.
Well, I think that as I've said in previous interviews and that, they haven't come across a side of our class yet, and even though we have got very young players in our team, they're not young players in the players' eyes, if you know what I mean, because like Chippy Brady's international, Frank Sable's international, Graham Rix is international, everyone is like international. So we knew how to combat this sweeper system.
Do you feel that you've got something to prove in a Wembley Cup final?
I've got to win there for a change. Just for a very pleasant change. I'd love to win there, Brian.
Is it to be this year?
Roger Thompson will laugh.
If it's not this year, Brian, then I don't deserve ever to go there as a winner.
Well, there was also a very nice human touch in that dressing room yesterday when Mr. Christy O'Leary, over from Dublin, was allowed in to congratulate his 19-year-old son David. A prouder father you couldn't wish to meet, and he must have felt very emotional about the whole thing.
I was very much. Once it happened to me before at Wembley when Dave played for Ireland against England. Today and at that stage was very, very memorable for me. Tomorrow I go back to see will my other son, Pierce, go through to the final in Ireland.
In the Irish semi-final?
In the Irish semi-final. They play Waterford, Shamrock Rovers play Waterford. So it could be a double year for me as well.
There are a few tears a moment ago.
It's unbelievable, he's a great lad. I can't say any more, honestly.
No. Well, you have every reason to be proud of him. You're not 20 until May the 2nd, I think, David. It could be Cup final week and a real celebration.
I hope so. You know, I'm getting the lads to make me a Christmas cake before the Cup final. And I hope I can round it off by winning the Cup. You know, been very lucky. I'm playing in a great side and some great players in it. And I hope we can, you know, round off a great season by winning the Cup. It'll be great to be there. I've been there once before and I really enjoy it. And I want to go back there as much as possible.
What did you feel about having Dad here today?
It's always great to have him over. He gives me a lot of abuse, like he slags me off a lot, but it's great to have him over.
Yeah. Well, it's nice to see you both so happy anyhow.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So there we are then. It's Arsenal then who go on to Wembley, that final on May the 6th, and it's Orient who have to get back to that grinding business of getting enough points to stave off relegation to the 3rd Division. But for the animal lovers among you, let's just clear up what happened to the fellow we saw at the start of the programme. Believe it or not, he'd followed the football crowd some 2 miles from his home on the other side of the river in Battersea. By the end of the afternoon, he was back with his owner, a happy ending there. All right, now it's time for your letters, and first today it's one from Liz Russell from Sydney, Australia. The programme, of course, goes regularly to Australia and right around the world, in fact. But she told us about an amazing incident in a match there involving a referee and a penalty. When it was awarded, one of the players, in fact, was so happy about the referee's decision that this is what he did. He comes up and plants the most beautiful kiss there on the referee's cheek there. I think that's the best argument I've seen yet for having women referees in our game. Philip Cole, who comes from 18 Allistry Road, Fulham in London, he's 13 years old, tells me of a wonderful goal scored by Fulham's John Margerison in the game at Sunderland last week. Could he see it? Yes, he can, thanks to Tyne Tees Television, right away.
Mahoney. And now Mitchell moving forward to that one. I think they've both got in each other's way then. Now Margerison. It's a beauty! Oh, that really was a super.
Well, Fulham drew that one 2-2. And talking of great goals, and indeed of a great goal scorer, what about Alan Simonsen of Borussia Mönchengladbach? He missed the first leg of the European Cup semi-final against Liverpool a fortnight ago, but the news today is that he's back in training and will be in the squad at Anfield on Wednesday, probably as a sub. What a dangerous sub he is. Mönchengladbach, incidentally, in good form. Yesterday they beat Schalke 2-1. Simonsen has just received his award as European Footballer of the Year. And well, he deserved it when you consider the quality of some of his goals. Here are just two of them, and what you have to remember is that he is wearing the number 7 shirt. What brilliant skills they are from Alan Simonsen. But sadly, on the very day that he got that European Footballer of the Year award, he was injured in a game against Fortuna of Düsseldorf. In fact, within 2 minutes of the start of the game. As the ball is played down the wing here, he's just caught in the back there. You can see the hamstring. That was on March the 18th, and Alan Simonsen has not played since. But he could be at Anfield on Wednesday. All right, just before we go on, mention of a testimonial game on Tuesday night for Wimbledon's long-serving goalkeeper Dickie Guy. Wimbledon against Chelsea. That's at Wimbledon Tuesday night, 7:30. In fact, we can't get away from great goals today. Not that I suppose it matters a lot unless you happen to be a goalkeeper like Dickie Guy. And now we bring you the best 12 goals seen on the big match this season. An exhilarating prelude to our Golden Goals competition that starts here next week, when we shall have to cut them down to a final 6. Not easy. By next week, Granada viewers will be back with their own kick-off match programme. But for them, and indeed for the rest of us, all we've got to do today is sit back and enjoy some great goal scoring. Starting with goal 1. It's Nicky Chatterton scoring for Crystal Palace at Millwall on the opening day of the season.
Perrin, and our ball, almost a 1 against 1 there, very deep, but if he can get past Hazel it might open up. Now Hamilton's gone back to cover. Hilaire's gone racing through the middle. That was a good run by him, but it's with Wall instead. And there's Hilaire again, and Bourne, well-timed run again by Crystal Palace. Perrin's waiting there, Chatterton's waiting there, and that's another goal! 3-0 to Palace.
Goal 2. This is by Gordon Hill, scored for Manchester United, and it came in their match at Birmingham at St Andrews.
McElroy. Could be here. Oh, and he just got it. Montgomery only just got his fingertips to that. Well, that was a close shave. And here's Hill. And that's not close at all. That is right bang on the target.
Goal number 3 is down to Tommy Cassidy of Newcastle United, scored against West Ham United. This came at St James's Park.
Now Mitchell against the West Ham team seems quite easily robbed. And there's a great shot and a goal by Cassidy.
Goal 4 next. This is one by Bob Latchford, one of 4 he got, in fact, for Everton in a 5-1 win against Queen's Park Rangers.
On target. Oh, Masson not quite controlling that one. Andy King sending Dave Thomas on his way now. This could be more trouble for Rangers. Latchford in the middle, and David Jones has come up as well. Latchford with the header. Oh, a beautiful goal.
Goal number 5. This is scored by Steve Perrin when he was at Crystal Palace, and it came in the game away to Stoke City.
In then for Perrin. What a goal! Yes!
On to goal 6, Keith Burchin. It's one he got for Birmingham City. It was against Arsenal in the game at Highbury.
A little dummy, a shot that crashed, in fact, off Gary Pendry, and here's Trevor Francis. Oh, what a good bit of skill there by Francis. And a chase by Burchin. Jennings came half out of his goal, decided he had to go back. Oh, my word, what a goal by Burchin!
Goal 7. Martin Peters scored this one. He scored it for Norwich City, and it was in the home game against Liverpool.
Hughes again. Suggett is in there. Out to Neighbour. Nobody there for the far post cross yet. Now they're coming into the area. Gibbons, but is coming for... Oh, Martin Peters.
Goal 8. Clive Walker of Chelsea, the moment Liverpool's Ray Clements would want to forget, and it came in the cup at Stamford Bridge.
Chelsea's throw. Clive Walker to Bill Garner. Really does look lively, Walker. Driving Leopard! Oh, goal! Clements puts his head in his hands, and Clive Walker has scored for Chelsea.
Goal 9, Paul Randall, one from the West Country here. His goal for Bristol Rovers against Southampton. Again, it's in the cup.
Good turn by Aitken, but it's Pickering for Southampton. Day again. And Randall's through, and he scored. And that's the way to take advantage of a sudden slip in the Southampton defence.
Goal 10, we're back to London again, and Ray Wilkins of Chelsea, his goal against Manchester United at Stamford Bridge.
Finiston. Wilkins with a tremendous shot and a goal!
Goal 11, scored only a fortnight ago by Paul McGee for Queen's Park Rangers against Cup finalist Ipswich at Loftus Road.
Cross, and again a chance now, Rangers to have 3 against 3, with Bowles getting up past 4 against 3. McGee on the ball for them at the moment. He's gone past 1, he's going all the way, and a beautiful goal! Paul McGee!
And finally, goal 12, scored only last week by Ray Kennedy of Liverpool, and it came in the game against Aston Villa at Villa Park.
And Dalglish, the scorer of 2 goals. Setting up a break here for Kennedy. 2 against 3. Kennedy trying to chip him, and he's done it!
So those then are the top 12. What a collection. Next week on the big match, the competition really starts when we reduce them to the final 6. But what about that Ray Kennedy goal? So many letters this week asking if he really meant it, or did he intend it to be a pass? Queries from, amongst others, G.N. Bell of 56 Mandeville, Stevenage in Hertfordshire, and to Michael Barrow of 23 Sussex Close in Exeter, and 17-year-old Michael Brooker of 244 Langley Road, Langley in Berkshire. Well, we asked Ray Kennedy himself, and he told us, no, I didn't mean it as a shot. As I went towards the Villa penalty area, I could see that David Johnson was coming up fast on the right. I meant it as a pass to him. It bobbled, and there it was, said honest Ray. But the reason he said I was so pleased about it afterwards was that I'd beaten my old Arsenal mate, Jimmy Rimmer, in the Villa goal. So there it is, mystery solved, and there it is, another cup weekend is over. We know it's Arsenal against Ipswich now at Wembley on May 6, which you can, of course, see live on ITV. But there's more sport live on ITV tonight. The exciting closing stages of the US Masters Golf Tournament. The world's best players live on ITV from America at 10:30 tonight. Well, at Stamford Bridge yesterday, a day to remember for Arsenal fans, and I suggest one not to be forgotten by Orient, who did so well to get so far. But yesterday, without question, it was Arsenal's day.
Graham Ricks again, and Yorkshire lad, nicely played inside for Hudson. A touch for Stableland, back towards MacDonald. Oh, and it's an own goal off Ruffy. Now Ricks turning that ball in, Roeder getting it away. Here's MacDonald with a cross. Oh, and it's another own goal. Ricks wriggling all the way through.